Let's get started with uploading your book to iTunes. So in order to upload your book with iTunes, you'll need two things in addition to all of the other items like your book file, your blurb, and everything else we've been using thus far. You'll need to have a Mac, and you'll need to download iTunes Producer. If you don't have a Mac, don't despair. There's a way around this, which you'll see in another lesson. You can upload to iTunes through Draft to Digital. So you can skip this lesson if you don't have a Mac, and you can go directly to Draft to Digital. If you do have a Mac and you've downloaded iTunes Producer and you have an iTunes account, let's get started. So I'm going to create a new package. It's going to be a book. I'm going to click Next. So the iTunes breaks this into three main categories. You're going to deal with your books, metadata, then you're going to upload the asset, and then you're going to deliver. Under book, you'll also see that down at the bottom you have more tabs to work with. So we'll start here under book and under info. So the first thing it wants to know is, what is my ISBN number? Can you see how handy this metadata sheet comes in? Because you're constantly being asked for the same information over and over again. Oh, I know, sorry. iTunes does not like the dashes. My bad. Sorry. Is that better? Yay. Okay. This is a book. It's not a textbook, even though I am a college professor and I do write those. The language is English. I just typed in E for English. The title, I'm still working on Moonrise. We've had the discussion about subtitles. I don't choose to do those. My publisher is Heartspell. We don't have an imprint at Heartspell. iBooks will allow you to do a pre-order, so I'm going to tell it the actual day that I want this book to be made available, which is August the 2nd. The series name is the Moonkind series. I'm going to go ahead. I feel like I'm under peer pressure to put numbers in here now. I don't think iTunes will care. The store display number, I don't do that. It's going to ask you for, it's like the volume number 1, number 2, number 3. Again, I don't choose to do that, so I'm going to leave that I'm going to leave that blank. But if you do want your books to be 1, 2, 3, then absolutely by all means fill that information out. I'm going to lie again, but it's going to be a short lie. I will have the print edition ready by next week. Pre-order samples are fine. This book does not contain any explicit content, and I do not. So with the multi-touch. This is if people want to preview the book before it goes live, which is just a couple of days, but that's fine. You can preview my book if you want to. I often forget that the book description is up here, so I'm remembering, because you guys are listening to me, to put my book blurb in there. But if you don't fill that information in, it'll yell at you. So let's get rid of that. iTunes understands the keyboard shortcuts for HTML, so I hit Command I to italicize that. Let's get rid of you. And I'm going to hit Command B to make that all nice and bold. Perfect. I think I'm going to make that bold as well. Awesome. That looks fantastic. I'm going to go on over to categories. This is the BISACT information. So the first category that I'm going to add, I believe iTunes allows me 7. Fiction. The first one that I'm going to choose is the primary category, which is Paranormal Shifters. And you'll see that it gives you a check mark by primary. I could change this if I wanted to, and I'll show you that in just a second. So that's great. I'm going to add another category, and you can see I have the primary box down here. So if the second category that I chose was going to be the primary, I simply need to check that box. It's not a big deal. So fiction. I also want this to be under romance, paranormal general. Still in fiction. Oops, that's not fiction. I also want this to be under romance. Oh, where are you? Did I go too far? Hang on. Yeah, I didn't go far enough, I think. Romance. Ah, I didn't go far enough. I want it to also be under romance, multicultural, and interracial, because the love in my books is of varied hues. And there was one or two more that I wanted. Because African Americans are featured on the cover, absolutely gonna tell them that this is African American. But here is where I'm a little nervous, and I'll be honest with you guys. I'm gonna do African American general, even though this is paranormal. We'll see if I get dinged for that. And I think I'm coming up on my quota. The other, I did paranormal. Wait, where am I? I did shifters. I did general. I'm gonna do African American romance. That's what, no. So I don't want African American general. I should look at my notes. I'm gonna remove you because I wanted African American romance. I don't think I will get dinged if I do that. Oops. Fiction. And I also wanted science fiction. I got multicultural. I also wanted romantic comedy because there's some light humor in this book, and that's going to be the last one that I've chosen. So that's everything. Shifters, paranormal general, multicultural, romance African American, romance romantic comedy. That looks perfect. Let's move along to authors. And I've just clicked add author, and the role that I'm choosing is author, and you've got even more categories if you are a sharing kind of person. So Ines Johnson, and then it's also going to want me to sort my name, like spell it correctly, like that. That looks fantastic. I'm going to move on to target audience. I leave this blank. You could, if I were going to do this, I could tell it, this is, but you see with this it looks for like kids and stuff, so I'm not going to do that at all. I'm going to even remove that criteria. I don't do the target audience. There are no related products as of yet with this book, like an not music. There is no audiobook there, so I leave that alone. I'm in the US, so I want my territory to be United States. This is a new release. The sale can start there. Actually, no, the sale starts 2016, 08, 02, and the pre-order can start 2016, 0731. And I do want to choose a tier, and now once I've got it in the US, the tiers pop up, and the $2.99 tier is fine. If you come back and you want to have a sale, then you can change it to any of these other three tiers: free, 99 cents, $1.99, or $2.99. Everything else looks fantastic, and I will keep it moving. Excellent. So the next portion is the assets. This is where you upload your ebook file. Take me back to Moonkind. Where's all my stuff? Moonrise. Publishing platforms. And my ebook is right here. And I'm going to open that up. I don't offer a publishing sample, but you can, just like what we talked about with Nook, you can choose a great scene, and as I've said before, get into the scene late and get out early to keep them wanting to one-click that book with a quickness. So I've got that. I don't have any other cover, I do have cover art. Screenshots is what I'm thinking about. And here is my cover art. Upload that there. I don't do screenshots. You can make that choice if you want to, but I don't make that choice. So I've got everything covered. The next thing I need to do is deliver my book. That was super fast. It validated. It's ready for delivery. I just need to hit that deliver button. iTunes is going to think about it, and after it's done, once it's validated all of my information and put it up there, it's going to give me a green check mark, and my book will be ready in the iTunes store. I hope that was helpful, and I hope you guys are getting started with uploading your books to iTunes. I'll see you in the next lesson.